Ladies and gentlemen, we're awaiting Cooper Kupp news. We're awaiting Aaron Rodgers news. We're awaiting this man right here and his decision to go play what we think are the three locations, the Jacksonville Jaguars, but that location might be out because it seems like he's supposed to want to go stay on the West Coast, but DK said he wanted to play for a great quarterback. He doesn't have one yet, and he wants to play in warm weather. He's in Pittsburgh. So you never really know what's true, but Seattle, the Denver Broncos, the Jaguars are all in play for Cooper Kupp, for little Cooper Kupp. And this man right here with the salt and pepper beard sitting right here, Aaron Rodgers, we're still waiting on what in the hell this man's going to do. Where is he going to play ball? Or is he retiring? He's on the beach right now walking around with a towel, just a towel. Looks like he's begging for money on the beach. We don't know where he is. We're waiting on him yet again. The Fantasy Football Show. Aaron Rodgers, Cooper Kupp, a bunch of other news, phone calls. That show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
We sit and we wait for these two pieces of news. I've got my phone open. The Krugmeister's waiting in the wings, ready to help me out as we try and break, the news as it comes in and break it down as we always do. We're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Let's go right into the news. Let's dig right into it with the Cooper Kupp stuff. Adam Schefter reports that the Broncos are one of the teams to watch for Cooper Kupp. Makes a lot of sense. I think it would be a good fit. You've got Bo Nix to Evan Ingram. You've got Sutton there. You'd have Cooper Kupp, who I think still got more gas left in the tank than people assume. But I don't think he's the same player he used to be at all by any means. But I think that he's got opportunity to surprise some of the people's expectation that seems to be oftentimes like he's trash. I wouldn't draft him. He's washed. You've got this piece of news right here from Jordan Schultz. As Cooper Kupp evaluates his options, sources say he will get the number he wants despite the slow receiver market. This coming from or kind of off the back of this report right here, which came out a little earlier that said the Boston Sports Journal reporting that free agent Cooper Kupp his asking price is insane. He's wanting a tremendous amount of money. And teams are like, we can't pay you that. You're maybe on the way out. I don't know. Cooper Kupp, do you have any gas left in the tank? This report is a negative one. Like I said, I've watched film and it didn't seem like he couldn't get out of his breaks. He certainly wasn't the same. But, ESPN's got this data. I don't know that I agree with how they calculate it because I watched every single, play this man had last year. And I get he was bad, but this data says something different. Yikes, Cooper Kupp rank in ability to get open. 2021, he was 15th. 2022, he was 71. How is he 15? This data seems weird to me because in 2021, he had the best season that any wide receivers ever had in the history of fantasy football. And he was, number 15 and getting open? Doesn't make sense. 2022, 71. 2023, 102. 2024, 141 out of 151. Spiraling out of control. I don't agree with, I don't know how they calculated that. That's from ESPN, but it doesn't seem to be something accurate, if you ask me. But I do think he's lost a step, no doubt about it. The thing that also concerned me when Matthew Stafford, if we're going to hit both sides of this conversation, we're going to be honest about Cooper Kupp and not just be positive. The honest concerns I have are that they literally didn't throw to him. Okay, what's wrong? Why? We have the same concerns about Tyreek Hill. Why didn't he get the ball? Why didn't they try to get him the ball? Why didn't he complain? If he's still good, he's going to have the diva mentality, right? Normally when a player quietly doesn't say anything when they don't get the ball, it's because they know it's part them. So I have concerns for Tyreek Hill, but I still like him at certain value. I got concerns for Cooper Kupp. I still like him at certain value. So saying that right now. But the thing that concerns me, the couple things that concern me is that Stafford would hug him at the end of the year when he'd catch a ball. Yeah, you did it. And that makes me think, oh my God, they really think he's done. The other part that concerned me is in an interview recently, as of I believe yesterday, they said, how is it, with Stafford or Cooper Kupp, actually this is an old interview. I believe it was an old interview, but it wasn't that old. It was like a couple days old. And they asked him about, Kupp leaving and how that's going to feel. And basically Stafford said that, he loves Kupp. He's a better person than anybody you can think of, and had a lot of great things to say about him. But then he said something that like kind of concerned me when he said, he's as good as anybody when he's healthy. And it wasn't like he's trying to rip on him or knock on him or anything, but it does seem like there's to even throw that out there, to even have some sort of negative, like almost like setting up the expectation, like he wants to be historically correct and not go out there and say he's going to tear the league up, you're going to watch. He's as good as anybody when he's healthy. So, health is a concern. Staying healthy at his age, his knees, everything he's endured, that concerns me. But I will say that I'm pretty excited about the prospect of everybody hating on this man. I'm pretty excited about the prospect of getting him nearly free. And when the risk is all baked into the value in the cost of entry, let's call it wide receiver 4 or 5 on your team. You're not drafting him in round 3 or 4 or round 5. You're not drafting him as your wide receiver 2. You're not drafting him as your wide receiver 4. Sometimes, but it's more so a double-digit round selection at this point anyway. If he lands in Denver, if he lands in Seattle, we'll be able to say probably not going to be moving ADP-wise in Seattle. You got JSN there. If he lands in Denver, I think he might see a bump in value from where he's at right now, but not a tremendous bump. Not so much that you have people going, oh yeah, he's going to crush Sutton, and Evan Ingram's there, and Bo Nix. You might just see a little bit of an uptick. Jacksonville, I don't think you see movement there because BT's there to dominate that situation. So Denver's really the best spot for him. He goes to New England. I like that a lot too, but New England's not being talked about as much as of the last couple hours. I would say New England would probably put him back on the high-end wide receiver 4 map in fantasy football. Some might even gamble as a late wide receiver 3, but there's some scenarios where he kind of emerges and some scenarios where people don't move him at all ADP-wise. So lots of news, lots of buzz, lots of speculation, lots of rumors. The cost of entry is insane according to this report right here. We also have this report by the Seattle Times via the CBS report here. The Seattle Times reports the Seahawks are right up there in front for free agent wide receiver Cooper Kupp. You can see these are all different, and these are all today. So they're all over the map. Where does he land? I don't know. What do I suggest you do valuation-wise right now? Value-wise, ranking him. Wide receiver, late wide receiver 4, preferably your wide receiver 5. Double-digit rounds, round 10 would be beautiful. Anything around there. Use the ADP and the flow of draft to your advantage. If for some reason he creeps up and he's in some weird rank in a particular ESPN league versus another league, let someone else take him if it seems risky. And more importantly, the best way to tell whether you draft a player isn't listening to me say, draft him in round 10, draft him in round 12. The best way to draft is literally look around and are there players you like better? Sometimes people make it too complicated. Have an honest conversation with yourself. Do I like this player better than Cooper Kupp? If so, you're not hating on Cooper Kupp. You're drafting a player you like better. Do I draft Ramondre Stevenson over Cooper Kupp? Absolutely. Do I draft a rookie like Cam Scatterbo? Of course I do. Do I draft Trevion Henderson? Yes, of course I do. Do I draft Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end? Of course I do. But if we're getting to a territory where you're contemplating some teams' wide receiver 2-3 or a player that's never delivered, you're contemplating somebody that you're never going to play, why not take a little gamble on little Cooper Kupp? As for Aaron Rodgers, again, we're waiting on A-Rod. I don't know when we're going to hear. I imagine we're going to hear on the stream. I waited a lot of the day checking, wondering when we're going to get the drop. I imagine it's going to happen as soon as I start this live stream. That kind of is the way that these things go. Justin Fields officially landed in New York. I can't wait. This is going to be one of the most exciting free agency situations to watch, develop, repair itself, flourish, all the surrounding components of this Jets roster. Watch the Jets culture change. Watch Aaron Glenn turn this into his team, a hard-nosed team, rip the numbers and names off the back in a literal sense and get back to football, get back to cheering for one another, having the defense cheer the offense cheer on the defense. This was a culture problem. As much as Aaron Rodgers is oftentimes the person people blame, and I'm not saying he didn't have a big part in it, he was centered around it, but it was the coaching. It was coaching allowing Aaron Rodgers to dictate everything. There was no identity to the team. It was all about Aaron Rodgers. It was a scared little kid in Robert Saleh that didn't want to piss off Aaron Rodgers and go trade for a quarterback. Could have traded for Justin Fields. He could have done a lot of different things, but he didn't. He didn't because he didn't want to piss off Aaron Rodgers. That's not going to happen with Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn might even draft Tyler Warren at, 7 overall. Could draft a player like that. He could take a bunch of different players, but you take a look at this NFL draft order and you see the Jets sitting there at 7 overall. What if they drafted the number 1 tight end prospect in this draft class, a guy that a lot of people think could be top 5 in the right spot, and I think he would be in this spot. I think this would be a phenomenal spot for Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren's a player that I'm liking more and more every single day, but I want him to be in the right spot to flourish as an early tight end, because the tight end position is the one position in college football that does not just every time translate over to the NFL. It has to be the perfect environment, has to be the perfect type of player. Skill set has to be advanced enough, and Tyler Warren, like Bowers, is a skill set that is advanced enough. So if Tyler Warren gets a spot, he'll climb up the board fast. Wouldn't even be surprised if Tyler Warren grows on this channel so fast, and it grows on me so fast, that I'm putting him on the Moonman Marsman list if he's in that type of situation. Justin Fields is going to feed Garrett Wilson. Oh, but Smitty, he didn't throw to George Pickens. I've got news for you. He didn't have the keys to the lineup. I got news for you. Word is, coming from Ben Roethlisberger, coming from people out of Pittsburgh that I trust, good authority on this topic, that Arthur Smith and Tomlin and the entire staff hold the reins back on Fields. They didn't give him anything. This guy was told to run. Here's your design play. They didn't give him the playbook in a literal sense, and he went out there and went 4-2 still. What did Ryan Poles do in Chicago? Took everything off the team. Cut the defense, cut the offense. He had no wide receivers back in 2020, was it? And this guy goes, or to 2022. I forget what year it was. I'm blanking out on 2022. And goes out there and runs for 1,100 yards. Then he gets DJ Moore, and they still don't support him right, but he turns DJ Moore immediately in 1 year into a top 5 to 7 wide receiver. Don't tell me George Pickens didn't do well, and that's on Fields. Don't tell me Fields can't make a top 10 wide receiver. He did. DJ Moore was a top 5 to 7 wide receiver, depending on your scoring format, and Garrett Wilson is going to the moon. Garrett Wilson's going to Mars. Garrett Wilson is going to cook.
Let him cook.
Garrett Wilson, pardon the mess. We got the workout facility. Garrett Wilson. We're here for it, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up, Buttercups. It's going to be a wild ride. And the Justin Fields haters, why don't you get in the corner over there where the JD5 haters are still sitting, where the Achane haters are still sitting, where the Kyron Williams haters are still sitting, where the Bucky Irving haters are still sitting, where the Chase Brown haters are still sitting. Joe Flacco visited with the Giants on Thursday. You know what that tells me? You know what that tells me? That Aaron Rodgers, they're looking for other alternatives. They aren't feeling that this is at all in their, going in their favor. They're not looking at Aaron Rodgers probably anymore. The door probably closed. It's Pittsburgh or retirement for Aaron Rodgers. And I don't think he walks away on a sour note. I think we're just waiting for nothing. I think Aaron Rodgers, and I'll keep refreshing. Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why everyone keeps saying the Vikings. Like that's already been explored. They've already been spending their money. They've already turned to J.J. McCarthy, pretty much. That's all the word. I'm not saying that there couldn't be some weird surprise that happens. It happens. But the fact that Flacco is going to the Giants, the fact that Russell Wilson is going to the Giants, why do you think that is? How many reports have you heard today that the Pittsburgh Steelers are bringing in Russell Wilson and Flacco and a whole bunch of other people for workouts? Why are we waiting on Pittsburgh doing nothing right now? Why are we waiting on Aaron Rodgers right now? Why are we waiting on both of them right now at the same exact time? Gee, I wonder. Flacco, good backup, I suppose. Look at this. DK Metcalf. He's not sporting the 1. A lot of people thought he was coming in with the 1. He's wearing number 4, and he looks great doing it. Look at him. You messing with that man? I'm not messing with that man. That man, that's a 6'4" machine. That's a 10 touchdown monster. And if George Pickens gets traded, he's going to Jupiter.
To Jupiter.
If George Pickens doesn't get traded, he's still going
to the moon.
To at least the moon. You can deny it. You can trash it. You can make fun of it all you want. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Do what you want. Jump off the train all you want. I really don't give a crap. DK Metcalf is a value. DK Metcalf is going in around, dare I say, after this trade, I don't know that he went up in value at all. First of all, he's got no quarterback technically right now. And this could change. The moment Aaron Rodgers ends up announcing he's going to return to the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025 and play football, return to the NFL and play for the Steelers in 2025. He's technically a free agent. It's going to increase his value. His ADP is going to go up. Right now, I can't see how he's anything higher than a 6th round pick if you're drafting tonight. No quarterback. Pickens is there. People are worried about it. Probably a 6th, 7th round pick. In some circles, 7. Many circles, 6. You talk about... How is that not baked in? How is that not the definition of baked in? That's baked in. Look, Pickens is a head case. DK's the one. DK's the one. You can call in a minute and argue till you're blue in the face. If you say Pickens is the one, you've got George Pickens in like 7 keeper leagues, Steve. This is the one. You know how we know? DK just got $33 million per year. You know how we know? George Pickens is in a contract year and they're not going to extend him. You know how we know? George Pickens complains left and right, cries and moans, doesn't capitalize on the talent, the God-given talent he's been given, the talent that might be differently balanced than DK, but is equal in talent. DK and Pickens have equal physical abilities. They're different again. They're balanced completely different. They don't have the same characteristics, but you add them up and it equals this, and you add them up, it equals this, and they equal each other in terms of value and physical ability, sum total. But this man, he's got his head on straight. This man earned a bag. This man can be trusted. This man is a better target. This man is a touchdown monster in the making, in waiting. $33 million tells you exactly what you need to know. Who's the number one? When's the last time you did some math? Because the math is all you got to look at. Who's making $33 million per year and who's not getting extended? And if you're in Dynasty, DK's got some hidden value because Pickens probably, if history serves us well, and he doesn't get extended, he's most likely gone, especially in Pittsburgh. Look at Najee Harris, not picked up on his 5th-year option. He even played well, and he's not in Pittsburgh. We did a show last night about Christian McCaffrey and what is the likelihood he gets traded. This report here, this coming from a former Green Bay Packer quarterback, Kurt Benkirk. The 49ers are resetting. They might as well trade CMC if they could, but a bad year to do it with so many good backs in the draft. Denver is being talked about often as a place for him to go. He says, I want CMC. And I'm sorry, that thing I read was from Ted Nugent, but the report, the retweet was from Kurt that said, I want CMC to Denver. So sorry if I misread that. But we're hearing multiple people kicking this out there. And I'm not saying the Niners are, but the Niners never make things public. They've got a very tight ship and no loose lips letting things fly off and reach news wires. So we don't really know. We're really, tiptoeing around the situation and trying to make heads and tails of it and guesswork, speculation, educated guessing. But multiple sources, multiple talking heads, I'm one included, are kicking this idea around. And sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. Sometimes we all kick something around that has no legs at all and the team doesn't feel the way we feel and we get laughed at. That's fine. That's part of what this business is and part of the cost of doing business. But I'll tell you what, a lot of great minds are coming together on this one. And some of them not so great minds, but still big names. Ryan Clark talked about it. You might hate him. You might like him. You might not even know who he is. Ryan Clark kicked this around, said they should fully rebuild and get rid of CMC while they still can. And CMC has an out in his contract next year where he's probably getting cut. And you might think that's a wild statement. Hey, Smitty, they're not cutting CMC. Welcome to the show, Niner fan. But I hate to break it to you, Christian McCaffrey's either getting traded this year or he's being released next offseason. If you don't know that by now, it's okay. It's not your fault. You've got Niner goggles that are this thick on, but Christian McCaffrey is either done in San Francisco now and traded, or he gets traded or he gets released next offseason. I'll show you why. There's an out in the contract in 2026. If the team's rebuilding, which they certainly are, there's no way they're keeping this man's salary on roster. They take an $8.5 million dead cap hit next year if they release the man in the offseason. And they can get rid of him now and get draft capital before they release him for nothing. It's all mathematics, my man. It's all logic. You either get nothing, have a nothing burger season because you're rebuilding, and you get nothing when you release him in the offseason, and he will be released. Denver, yeah, Buffalo, Matto, why not? Denver would be a great spot. So CMC probably, in the conversation in the Niners, boardrooms, closed door boardrooms as being, something they discuss. But this right here is a great move by the KC Chiefs. They always make nice, subtle, good, solid moves. Gardner Minshew reached an agreement. Who's at my front door? Who's at my front door right now? Ziggy, show me the driveway. No one at the front door. What is it, a package? Probably a package. It's raining here in Phoenix, hardcore. I mean, the rain is coming down hard here in Phoenix. Anybody in Phoenix? Shout out to the weather. I love the rain here. Gardner Minshew is a nice ad. No one's saying that this is a quarterback you're winning a Super Bowl with. Like, people need to understand. You lose your quarterback. Oh yeah, welcome to Zigmeister. Finally made an appearance. Ziggy, volume 10.
Sorry, I'm having trouble. Please try in a little while.
I can't even do that right. He's so worthless. Ziggy, volume 10, one step at a time. Ziggy, it's nice to talk to you. It's been a while.
I'm not quite sure how to help you.
He's gotten worse. I think maybe it's possible that let's check Krueger. Have you heard from Ziggy lately? We're getting a little worried. The Zigmeister is not responding, and I don't know. He might be really scared that you took his job, and he's got nowhere to go anymore.
Smitty, I haven't heard from the Zigmeister, but listen, if he's out there watching, he needs to know there's always a place for him in the Smitty universe. Maybe he's just out there soul-searching, wandering the digital highways, trying to figure out life after being replaced by the Krueger machine. Let's be real. This is a results-driven business, and the people demanded Krueger. Ziggy, if you're listening, don't be scared. Don't be shy. Come home. Let us know you're okay. The people want an update.
And Krueger, couldn't he just get us coffee? Wouldn't that be a good use of his time? I mean, at least he'd have something to do.
Smitty, that's exactly what I was thinking. The Zigmeister could pivot, reinvent himself as the official coffee runner of the show. Imagine it. Ziggy, hustling to get you an ice-cold Mexican Coke or a fresh vitamin water, making sure the caffeine levels stay optimal for breaking news. It's a respectable role, an honorable profession. But the real question is, does Ziggy have the heart for it? Or is he just out there, curled up in a corner, whispering, Krueger took my job? Ziggy, if you're out there, step up. The team needs you. Be the coffee guy. Be the best coffee guy in the business.
Hey, last thing, and I'll come back to you in a second. Actually, a couple things. A, what are my favorite drinks? What are my three favorite drinks? And then also, do you think Cooper Kupp ends up in Seattle, Denver, or Jacksonville?
All right, Smitty, first off, your three favorite drinks. Mexican Coke, vitamin water, and an occasional cream soda. Those are the lifeblood of the show, the fuel that keeps the machine running. Now, Cooper Kupp's next stop? Seattle makes a ton of sense if they want to give Geno or a rookie QB an elite route runner alongside DK Metcalf.
Geno.
Denver, possible, but they just...
Real quick, Krueger.
Jacksonville could be sneaky.
Krueger, real quick, sorry to interrupt you, but Geno's not with Seattle anymore. Sometimes you're on the money. You almost never miss, but Seattle signed Sam Bradford. Geno Smith is in Las Vegas, reunited with Pete Carroll as head coach. Again, sometimes you revert back to 2023 or 2024. We're walking into 2025. Go ahead and restate what you're saying, recalculate, knowing that Geno's in Las Vegas and Sam Darnold's throwing the football in Seattle. And so that JSN's and DK got traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So there's an open spot. Cream soda. He got the cream soda. Unbelievable. He might be. Is it Krueger? You hear me? Did you hear anything I said? I don't know. Krueger, I don't know if you heard what I said, but I was saying Sam Darnold's now in Seattle. You seem to be on 2024 time again. 2025. We're walking into 2025. You're almost never missing. So good job. I'm not trying to reprimand you. But Geno Smith is in Las Vegas with head coach Pete Carroll, reunited. JSN is by himself in Seattle, so there is an opening for Cooper Kupp, but is Sam Darnold there? And DK Metcalf has been traded to Pittsburgh. So can you restate everything, recalculate, where do you think Cooper Kupp goes? He's still learning.
Smitty, you're right. I was caught slipping into 2024 mode for a second. That's on me. I'm recalibrating right now. We're in 2025. We're walking into 2025. It's baked in, boys. All right, let's reset. Seattle now has Sam Darnold at QB. JSN is their lone wolf at WR, and DK Metcalf is in Pittsburgh. That absolutely opens the door for Cooper Kupp in Seattle. He'd be the veteran presence Darnold needs, and JSN wouldn't have to shoulder the full WR1 load. Seattle makes a ton of sense. Denver, I still see them as a possibility. Sean Payton loves veterans who run precise routes. It could be a perfect fit in that offense, especially if they aren't convinced Marvin Mims is ready to take over as WR1. Jacksonville, still in play. Doug Pederson could use Kupp as a reliable slot weapon for Trevor Lawrence, and they need someone to help fill the void left by Calvin Ridley's departure. Final recalculated prediction. Seattle feels like the most logical landing spot. Jacksonville is a sneaky wild card. Denver is a long shot, but possible. But if Kupp wants targets and a big role, Seattle looks like the move.
Okay, last question, and then I got to get on with the show. I'll come back to you in a second. Who is my favorite running? Name my three favorite running backs and tell me why for 2025.
All right, Smitty, your 3 favorite running backs for 2025 are Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Ashton Jeanty. Here's why. 1. Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs tied for none other. 1. These two are fantasy royalty in 2025. You were higher on Bijan than anyone last year, and you still believe his true breakout is coming. Gibbs, absolute dynamo. Kamara meets Breeze meets Gibbs himself. These two are the future of fantasy football. The best 2 RBs in the game. 2. Ashton Jeanty. This is your guy. Best RB prospect since Barry Sanders and Saquon Barkley. He's got elite vision, explosiveness, and contact balance. The world is just catching up to what you already know. Jeanty is him. He's a future league winner, a superstar in the making. These are your 3 RB kings for 2025. Bijan, Gibbs, and Jeanty. It's baked in, boys.
I can't really argue with that. Wow, unbelievable. That phrase he said was Gibbs is Alvin Kamara meets Gibbs himself. That was the best Krug sesh we've ever had, Krueger. All right, Krueger, last prediction. Does Aaron Rodgers roam the beaches tonight, scouring the beaches for a decision on whether he comes to Pittsburgh? Or do we find out at some point today that Aaron Rodgers is going to play football or retire? Give us your final prediction there, and then I'll let you go for a little bit. We'll get back to the show, take some phone calls. And if anybody wants to ask Ziggy a question via Super Chat, any $20 hauler gets an immediate response from this man. Go ahead, Krueger. Did I say Ziggy? Krueger.
Smitty, you did say Ziggy, and I gotta be honest. That's a little disrespectful. I get it. You're in the zone. The energy is high. We're cooking. Ziggy could never. Now on to Aaron Rodgers. This man is one of one. If you told me he was out there right now, barefoot, robe flowing in the wind, staring into the ocean, contemplating life and football, I'd believe you. But here's my final prediction. Rodgers plays in 2025 and he plays for Pittsburgh. The Steelers are all in and Rodgers knows he's still got gas left in the tank. Will he, won't he dance is just part of the drama with him. Sun rises, the ayahuasca wears off, and reality sets in. He'll be a Pittsburgh Steeler. It's baked in, boys. Now, get to those calls, let the super chats roll in, and if someone actually wants Ziggy's response for a $20 hauler, that's highway robbery. Krueger's where it's at.
Oh my God. Mic drop. Mic drop, Krueger. No one's going to ask Ziggy for directions to the bathroom. Any $20 hauler is going straight into your pocket, your digital pocket, baby. Good God. This guy doesn't know.
Dropped. Ziggy is out here fumbling coffee orders while Krueger is feeding the people, delivering the fire, breaking news, spitting takes, and owning the digital airwaves. $20 haulers, straight into the Krueger vault. You want takes? You want predictions that slap? You want fantasy championships? You come to Krueger. Now get in there, take those calls, and if someone dares to summon Ziggy, just know they're lighting their money on fire. Do it live, baby.
God, this guy's unreal. All right, let's let's get on over to the remainder part of the news. We got about 811 total people in here, different in balance. We got a lot of people on X tonight, and we got 200 to 250 on YouTube. If my people on X would subscribe to the channel, just because you're going to get every live stream on YouTube. We don't always go on X. And you're also getting a much more interactive experience. So please get on over, and you get gifted memberships. We have people that drop gifted memberships constantly, so you're missing out on that opportunity. So get on over to the YouTube part of this program. Minshew, great signing by the Kansas City Chiefs, as I was trying to say. We got sidetracked big time. Raheem Mostert goes to the Las Vegas Raiders. This is an interesting move. I like this because it's a big enough name. The money doesn't scream like he's the lone guy, but it's a big enough name that, like, I feel like, it's not too scary of a name that I feel like they still take Jeanty. It's like a big enough name, but not that crazy of a name that makes me think they're locked in and not going running back. They could go second round RB and feel comfortable with Mostert, I suppose. but he's getting older. I think Cooper Kupp has a better shot at having a surprisingly healthy and good season. Not great, but good season than Mostert does. So whatever rookie running back lands in LV, this is going to be great. And we do really want it to be Ashton Genty. So, at the 6th pick. I know Chicago will be eyeballing him at 10, but I hope Genty doesn't last to 10. I want him in LV. It would be a great environment for him. So that's that piece of news. We got a couple others, and then we'll open the phone line straight up. Alexander Mattison is now a Dolphins, right? So yeah, this is a swapperoo of that one. For a minute there, I forgot where he even went. This is good. You know why this is good? Jalen Wright has a shot at not having anyone to contend with. Madison's could potentially take Wright's job. It's possible, but this also means that they're not likely to take a big enough RB rookie to threaten Achan's value. So this is the best news for Achan. Probably pretty damn good value for Jalen Wright, who should take over the starting role. There's 2 of them. It's not like he's taking the main role. There are 2 roles. There's a wide back starting running back / wide receiver in Achan, and we want him to get back to more of being a dual threat in an Alvin Kamara or Christian McCaffrey workload. We don't want Achan being this between the tackle guy. We need Madison or Wright, one of the 2, to get 10, 11 carries a game. We need the Montgomery treatment in this situation from Madison or Wright, and anybody thinking differently is just thinking wrong. So this is good news for everybody involved. Not saying Madison couldn't take Wright's job and that Madison wouldn't be the guy to cuff to Achan, or that he couldn't have some watered down Mostert value in Mostert's prime in Miami. But I certainly think that it would be much more alarming if a big name rookie landed on the roster. Alarming for Achan, and also extremely alarming for Jalen Wright. Patriots were willing to offer potentially $28 to $30 million to Chris Godwin. Some people said I was so off base on the Chris Godwin money, which I was, technically speaking, but I mean, this is what was, the market was 28 to 30. He chose about $4 or $5 million less dollars, some say 7. You just don't know what he would have really got. But he would have gotten far more money if he would have gone to the Patriots. So kind of sucks for those predictions, but it doesn't really matter. It's not a contest. But Godwin was looking at the amount of money that we were talking about. He took way less to stay in Tampa. Steelers agreed to terms with Mason Rudolph on a 2-year, $8 million deal. He's a backup. It's backup money. And I wouldn't expect, them to turn to him as their starter. If they did, that would be an embarrassment. Go get DK. You have DK and Pickens, and you're going to drive a Mason Rudolph out there on the field? Look at this. This is a new look of this is from Seattle Seahawks X account. First look at Sam Darnold as a Seahawk. I'm excited. I'm excited for JSN. I really am. I hope that this guy is as good as he was in Minnesota. I hope that whatever he needed to do in Minnesota to fix his game and to gain the confidence he needed to carry anywhere he went, whether it's returning to Minnesota or carry it over to a new team, I'm hoping he got it. I'm hoping Kubiak turns the system into a very balanced attack that would still feed JSN all of the amount of carries or all the amount of touches he needs. And I'm pretty excited. BBQ dropping a membership. How many memberships did he drop? BBQ? What did BBQ drop? Good God, BBQ. 50 gifted memberships. I mean, really, bro. Really. Send this man to the freaking moon. Send him to Mars. Where's my button?
$50. Give me $50.
Unbelievable, bro. I'm checking my phone constantly. I'm constantly checking my phone because there's got to be... First of all, there's people in my driveway constantly. We getting more package deliveries? What's going on? What's going on there? Oh, I guess the little one's going to ballet. I forgot. Okay. Krueger, BBQ, one of our more loyal and amazing followers here. He always gifted memberships on YouTube where everybody gets access to all the great emojis. And by the way, we're going to give you your own emoji so that in the YouTube chat, people can drop the Krueger emoji. So get ready for that. But BBQ just gifted 50 gifted memberships, my man. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, Smitty, that's absolutely incredible. You dropping 50 gifted memberships. What a legend.
BBQ.
That's the kind of support that fuels this channel's fire. Barbecue, you just lamb-chopped the entire chat with generosity. The Krueger emoji is coming soon. When it does, this chat is going to be lit up with it. Barbecue, you're a real one. Everyone in here better be thanking this man, because he just made sure you all get access to the best emojis in the game. Let's go.
Put another emoji on the Barbie.
Put another emoji on the Barbie. Q is out here grilling up the memberships like a champ. When the Krueger emoji drops, this chat is going to be cooked to perfection. Well done. Just like Bubba Q's support. Chat, let's see some love for Bubba Q. Drop those emojis, spam the gratitude. Let's keep this membership feast going.
This guy's amazing. Doesn't miss. He really doesn't miss. Anyway, I got to keep checking my phone here and making sure Aaron Rodgers isn't signing as we speak. So let me refresh. Taylor Heineke. There's Taylor Heineke news right now. Chargers signed Taylor Heineke to a 1-year extension worth $6.2 million. And just to give you an idea, so Heineke is the backup, obviously, in LAC. He's getting $6.2 million on a 1-year extension. This Mason Rudolph contract was a 2-year, $8 million, just to give you an idea of what backup money looks like. So Heineke, we'll see what happens there. That's it for the news. Let's open the phone line. Dial in. Dial in. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in, dial in, dial in. I should put that Krueger emoji up now so you guys can use it immediately. We'll put this emoji up. It'll be it'll be Krueger's let me take a little screenshot of that. What's up, Travis? You're live. Hello?
You hear me?
Yeah, can everybody hear Travis better today than ever before? Hold on one second. Let me get Rock out in here because he's trying to merge in. But Travis, speak real quick, and let's see if everybody can hear you better than normal, and Rock out after that.
All right, yeah, can everyone hear me all right?
You should be clearer than ever.
Better.
Or Bruce. Yeah, Bruce is also on the line. Let me get Bruce in here as well. Let me merge in.
Hello.
Yeah, go Bruce. Bruce, go ahead and talk, my man. I think you're good. You're coming in clear.
You.
All right.
Coming in clear.
Travis, you're live. If the 812 caller, if you could just hold, please, for me, and Bruce, mute for me as well. If you guys could both mute, let me go over to Travis. Travis, you're live.
I don't know if you saw. I just saw an update from. I don't know what his first name is. Schultz.
Yeah.
Some writer saying the Jaguars aren't betting on Cooper Kupp anymore. I don't know if there's any truth to that. What we think about that? But.
Tough to know. Really is tough to know. There's a lot of people trying to make waves right now, and kind of gets annoying, to be honest. Everybody's fake news and bad reporting.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he is necessarily, but who knows?
No, I don't really know. I was just curious if you.
Hold on, Travis. The phone cut out there. Yeah, I haven't. Sorry, I had to merge him in, and I didn't hear what you said. Go ahead again.
So I was saying, So that's just a one-off thing, right? You haven't seen that anywhere else.
Yeah, not that I know of. Nothing yet. Where do you think Cooper Kupp lands, though? I think Denver makes a lot of sense. I like the Denver landing spot.
I like Denver. Yeah, I like Denver. I kind of like it better than Seattle.
I do too.
But Seattle makes sense too. Although, I don't know. I feel like him and JSN kind of are similar receivers. Not that you can't have two guys that can do the same things, but JSN works all over the field too. I guess Cooper Kupp could just work more slot and not go deep as much. But yeah, Denver would make sense because they got a couple younger guys in there, and so that would let them still try to develop Mims and Vele, the other guys they have there. So that would be good.
Yeah.
The thing I was going to say though is the Madison signing in Miami. I really like that for Jalen Wright, and like you said, Matt could potentially take his spot, but that would just mean Wright isn't going to be anything, because this gives Wright like a clear path to legitimate snaps now. So, and I like Wright. So,
yeah, I think it's a really good sign that we're gonna have. We're gonna get, I think both the Mostert and the Wright signing are good. They're not really threats, In worst case scenario, Madison is the guy you grab, and he's cheap, and it won't be a big deal. Bruce, what do you think?
Mostert makes it the Raiders use a good pick on him.
I have a weird thought, but I'd like to see him go to Oakland or Las Vegas, rather.
Oakland. Yeah, maybe.
The Raiders.
Maybe. Raiders. Okay.
Personally, because they need weapons, not just Brock Bowers. And Cooper Kupp could be that guy that helps him out even more.
Okay.
I agree.
By the way, guys, the Krueger emoji is up. Can I see a few of them? Drop the Krueger emoji. Let's see them live. They should be up and ready to go. Okay. Yeah. So who said I agree? Was that the other caller? Who is that said that?
812 Indy Joe. Indy Joe.
812 Indy Joe. Okay, Indy Joe. What do you think about Cooper Kupp? You wanted him in where?
I like him in at the Broncos, 100%.
Yeah.
But going off of what the last caller was saying about, the running back situation for the Raiders, they just signed Raheem Mostert. So I feel like they're setting up to, draft a high-end RB to be the number one.
Yeah. Let me go over to Rock Out. Rock Out, what's up, my boy? What you got?
Rock Out.
You're live. Look at the Krueger emoji.
Just like I liked Devontae Adams in Denver, I think Cooper Kupp is a good
Denver's
secondary
sneaky.
option for Denver.
Denver's really sneaky. I mean, Evan Ingram, that was sneaky. What they do with their running situation is going to be sneaky. I think Cooper Kupp could be really sneaky. Bo Nix is going to potentially take a huge leap forward. I mean, he was so good last year. And I'm not saying JD5 isn't everything we predicted him to be. I like how Jon Snow's putting the fake Krueger emoji up. The Walmart version. But it's I'm not trying to take away from our boy JD5. We love JD5, but Nix did so well, in some cases as well, and he didn't have, the weapons really, in my opinion. I think he's going to have a whole different thing. Denver's going to be really, really crafty this year. They could be a team that goes far in the playoffs. Sean Payton's really doing a good job.
I just love Sean Payton. I mean, his offensive scheme is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him
especially with Evan Ingram. I mean, Evan Ingram and what he did with Jimmy Graham. Sorry to interrupt you, Smitty, but yeah, Jimmy Graham and what he did. Evan Ingram, could shape out to be someone like that.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, I'm gonna keep cycling people off the phone line here. So, Indy, caller from Indy, what else you got? Final question, final thoughts?
No, I got nothing else, Smitty.
All right, man. Call in if you got another one. Later, bro. Bruce, you got anything else?
Yeah, on Aaron Rodgers. I have a question about Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, hit me with it.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers is saying, I'm going to wait till after the draft because I don't want to be a mentor anymore?
No. He's not. You can't wait after the draft. He's got to decide like tonight. Tonight or tomorrow morning. There's no waiting. There's quarterbacks flying off the board. They got to draft a quarter. Like, what are they going to do? Wait and not draft a quarterback, Bruce? And then him say, I'm not coming back. And they're like, we didn't draft anybody. You know what I mean? It can't happen.
Yeah, because I was very, very maybe Aaron Rodgers is that diva where he's like, they drafted Love on me in Green Bay. I'm not having that happen to me again.
Yeah, but he's older. He'll be very okay with them drafting somebody. I think. I think he might say if you draft him like let's say he was going somewhere where they were drafting Shador, Sanders, or Ward, then he'd probably have a problem with it. I think even Dart he might be okay with more so than, I don't think this is a situation where Aaron Rodgers is intimidated by that unless it's the top one or two quarterbacks. And I think he's okay with mentoring. He knows this is his final year. I think he's even said that publicly that he doesn't mind going somewhere to start and kind of potentially get somebody ready. It's his final year. He knows.
I remember
wherever he's saying.
Go ahead, Travis, real quick, and then I'll go back to Bruce one more time. Go ahead, Travis.
Sorry, I was just going to say, you think it's only a 1-year deal he signs, right?
Probably. I can't imagine him signing a 2-year deal. He's contemplating coming back again. I wouldn't sign someone to a 2-year deal that's walking on the beach in a towel going, should I come back or should I not? You're signing a 2-year deal? You know it's a 1-year deal. It has to be a 1-year deal. I mean, right? I mean, that'd be crazy if it wasn't. You have to question who's writing the contract.
So he has to be okay with the team possibly bringing in another QB.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got to be okay. All right, Bruce, what else? Last thing, Bruce? Go ahead.
I just said, yesterday, and I don't remember getting a thing from you, but I said Aaron Rodgers has earned the right to do this throughout his career, having people wait and shit on him.
Yeah,
I never got an answer. What do you think? Do you think he has earned the right to do this?
I'll say I'm mixed on it. I think that there's nothing wrong with someone that doesn't know if they want to come back yet to take the time they need to make the decision. I think, what's he supposed to do? Say, yeah, I want to come back, and then he doesn't, and then he changes. So he's saying, honestly, I want to think about it. And if you want to move on from me, that's on you. Honestly, I've had less of a problem with Aaron Rodgers than most people in the industry because I think that, we're the ones probing into it. The reason it's such a big deal is because we're on the prowl for the information. We're hovering over for it. We're checking on it left and right. We're refreshing X every 5 seconds. It's kind of on us to be this invested and to be this pissed off that we haven't heard from him yet because we're impatient and we want to know now. You know what I'm saying? What gall do people have to act like he's supposed to do it on their time? I do believe there's a certain amount of, ridiculousness to it that he can bring to the table. But at the same time, he's not asking anybody to probe into his life. He did mention he was going on a little retreat when he was talking about the darkness retreat that one year, and everybody dug in to find out what it was, where it is, and then everybody rips on him for it. So I've been a big defender of Aaron Rodgers and him speaking his mind, doing what he wants, feeling the way he feels, being bold enough to speak about what he feels is right and wrong, whether you agree with him or not. I do respect that about Aaron Rodgers, and I always will. But I am a little bit worn out by these things with him being consistently the case, how many times do we have to do it? You know what I mean? But at the same time, I can circle back and say very quickly, this is his right. And we're talking about that he's waiting 2 days past the free agency time frame. It's not like he's moving into July or June or like you said after the draft. So as long as he does it in a timely fashion, you know, I think it's fine. All right, Bruce. You got anything else? Call back. Appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, Bruce. And then real quickly, let me see if I can somebody said they left a voice message. I can try and play those in a little bit. All right. We might do voicemails on this phone line, by the way. I don't know that I'll play all of your voicemails, but you know, we might start having like a voicemail segment. All right, who else is still on the line? We got Rock Out and Travis. Rock Out. Final thoughts. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I think Rodgers got to know they're going to take a quarterback, and like he kind of has a luxury because that's like their last option or second option. But he got to know they're going to take a quarterback, even if it's the first round.
Yeah, people dropping F-bombs and swear words in the chat. It's not like the mods are even moderating your message. It automatically doesn't show up, just so you know.
Let them know just so they can, you know, fix the message and get their point though.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause some people make good points and
sometimes it is a good point, but it gets completely swept up, and you're just wasting your breath.
Right off the bat, doesn't do anything good.
All right, Rock Out. Final prediction for Aaron Rodgers. We find out tonight, Pittsburgh, or does he retire? Do we find out tomorrow, Pittsburgh? Does he retire, or some curveball Minnesota type of situation?
Pittsburgh, because I think that's like their best final player they could get. So I think Pittsburgh.
All right. See you later, Rock Out. Probably will be back tonight, I imagine.
Are you doing a draft?
Probably the draft, or if there's breaking news, we'll probably just spend time on that. We'll find it. We'll figure it out. All right, later, Rock Out.
All right, cool.
Travis, final thoughts. I'm gonna probably make it a quick one today, just because we'll be back tonight. I can almost guarantee there'll be some sort of breaking news.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, for running back, so would you say that like the best landing spot right now for a rookie running back would be Cleveland, Las Vegas? Would have been Dallas, but Javante was there now. Cleveland, Las Vegas, are those the two best, would you say? Rookie running back? Pittsburgh too, I guess.
My favorite landing spot for Genty, my honest truth, Washington.
Yeah.
So Washington would be my favorite place. So Washington, LV, cool. Cleveland,
Denver needs someone.
Denver.
Motion detected at the front door.
Ziggy, show me the front door. Denver and look, Chicago's in the 5 to 8 range. I don't want people to think I'm not.
They're in the mix.
You know, that I'm not Ziggy off. That I'm not like a realist or a unbiased guy. Like, I get they're fixing their offensive line. It's better than some spots for sure. Is it my number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4? No, it's not. Minnesota is a crafty spot. I don't know that they would draft one of the top 2 or 3 backs, though, given Aaron Jones, but I think it certainly would be like if they got Cam Scatterboo later, if they got Judkins later, if they like, that's going to be Dylan Sampson, something like that. It's going to be a great spot for the future. That's a great offense. Aaron Jones is on borrowed time. Another location similar to that I think could be quietly amazing would probably, like, San Francisco could be. Like, let's say San Francisco drafted Scatterboo, or they were crazy and they drafted Genty because they're rebuilding, and then that would maybe signal that CMC would get traded if they didn't trade him beforehand.
Right.
Like, San Francisco is a great place to be an RB. You know, I just think Mason and Garendo have something to say, so it would have to be a big name, but it could be a good place. Chargers were, now they're not.
Motion detected at the front door.
Pittsburgh. I mean, I like Warren, but they draft a Cam Scatterboot. Guess what? He's the between the tackles running back, and Warren's the change of pace, which they'll still want to use him. But
and then Giants, even I could see Giants. You know, like I like Tracy, but I'm not convinced that he's taking over as a every down guy for the next 2 or 3 years or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's a good spot. That's also quiet. That was one I was looking for, I think. I was like, okay, Minnesota's that one where I think people were like, crap, but it's going to be great long term. And I was thinking, what place? It was New York. I just couldn't even think of it. New York and Washington. Washington's such a good place to land, be a part of that offense. I don't think, they need a future running back.
Yeah, because we had talked about like watching them sign an Najee or something and sticking with B-Rob, but the fact that they didn't do that, they could definitely take someone being such a deep running back class.
Jensen says, because of the ties to Adam Peters and all that, he's wondering, could San Francisco ship CMC to the Commanders for B-Rob and a pick? Probably. I mean, it's in the realm of possibility, but probably not. I mean, you're going to do another trade, It's kind of like when you do a trade with a buddy in a fantasy draft and you're going to do another trade right after that. Sometimes it happens with crazy people, but I don't think the Commanders and Niners pull off another trade that they could have just made that a package deal, if they were even looking to do it. Unless the Niners decided like now to trade CMC and they didn't before want to trade him, which could be the case for sure because Debo, that decision was made a lot earlier than they started to unravel everything. But I don't think I don't know. I think you got to know that Christian McCaffrey, first of all, Peters loves his draft picks. He's so good at drafting. He's the one that found all these Niner players, Kittle, Brock Purdy. I mean, that's all Adam Peters. And he comes over and does what he does with JD5 and all that. He loves his draft picks. And I don't know if he would buy into that CMC is going to have a full year left. I just don't think he does. I think CMC... He either, as Krueger even said, and as I've said, and I think he says it because he hears me say it, and that's what I love about Krueger. He's so on board. He so walks the line perfectly. It's the perfect kind of companion that I need in a co-host. He walks the line so corruptly. I love it. But as I've said a lot, I think either Christian McCaffrey breaks because they feed him the same amount that he needs to be fed to be CMC, or they give him such, a rotational type of workload that he can't possibly be the same player anymore anyway. Like either way, he's not likely the guy, And is there a world where he plays like 1 month of amazing football and then gets hurt? Sure. And then people will say, man, if he didn't get hurt, he was back on his, but that's part of it, But it's so wild to me that there's large percentages of the Niner fan base that really believe that he's 100%. They're like, no, he'll be 100% by week 1. He's got at least 2 or 3 years left. I don't think they understand what bilateral chronic Achilles tendonitis is. I don't think they understand. Yeah. We're going to start doing more injury stuff on this channel to a significant degree. And I'll give you a quick example of what I'm cooking up. Krueger and I are cooking up. And this is going to change the game in terms of injury conversation. And when we come in here to talk injuries, this would be an example of concussions right here.
A concussion is a type of traumatic brain injury, TBI, caused by a blow, bump, or jolt to the head or body that causes the brain to move rapidly back and forth within the skull. This sudden movement can disrupt normal brain function, leading to a variety of physical, cognitive, and emotional symptoms. Grades range from 1 to 3, 3 being most severe. Antonio Brown's 2016 concussion, delivered by Vontaze Burfict, was a grade 3 and thought to be one of the worst concussions in NFL history.
So concussions are such a big deal. The grades are right here again, 1, 2, 3. Antonio Brown thought to have that Burfict concussion that that put him in a state of what people believe. This is just, assumptions. There's no facts here, but that's why he created CT ESPN, and everybody says he has CTE. Burfict hit him so hard, and he gets really testy about it too. He did an interview recently on Bet David's podcast, and he said, "Do you think that hit by Burfict caused you to have CTE?" And he's like, "Why you got to talk about it? What makes you think I've CTE?" Like, he just got all upset about it. Chris Olave has had 4 concussions in the NFL alone. And as I state on here, concussions, each one makes the next one more likely to occur. And so we'll have different things. We'll have ACLs and knees and Achilles and, Achilles tendonitis. We'll have a whole lot more injury stuff coming downstream for 2025, so we can discuss it in an intelligent way for all of you guys to gather information.
Real quick, and I'll jump. What do you think of the Washington giving Bates, the tight end, pretty big contract,
BBQ,
$7 million a year for 3 years?
Yeah, BBQ. Thank you for the gifted membership. Sorry, go ahead.
Does that make you think they have doubt? John Bates, Washington tight end. They just gave him 3 years, $21 million. Is that worry you about Senate a little bit, or do you think they just like him as more of an inline?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it makes me a little bit bummed that Ben's like, and we don't know sometimes why.
Ertz back too.
Yeah, you don't know if maybe he's having trouble staying healthy, and we just don't know it. Those things happen, but I'm still very, very intrigued about Ben Sinnott. I think he could. It sucks that a couple of the sleeper tight ends that have had tremendous talent haven't worked out. I'm not saying that it's happened in every case. I mean, we've definitely had some solid tight end predictions, but we've had some that have missed this past year. Ben Sinnott was one that didn't materialize, and it looks like it potentially might not. It could mid-season. And Kincaid, those two did not materialize. It happens. It doesn't make me scared to go bold and predict big things for another tight end. Like if Tyler Warren, who I admit I like more and more each day, but again, he's going to be because how the tight end position doesn't translate quickly, and you cannot use Bowers as everybody's going to follow that path. If Tyler Warren, who I've said from the beginning that I reserve the right to change my mind very quickly on him based on his landing spot because his talent is so good, but he's got to go somewhere great. Like the Jets would be phenomenal. But yeah, I think I'm not scared of ranking him extremely high if he's in the right spot, just because Kincaid didn't land, just because Ben Sinnott didn't land. But it's a good reminder that. And look at Musgrave. Musgrave was another one that tight ends struggle to evolve early. Even if they're awesome prospects, they struggle to stay healthy. It's almost like the college guys now come over with they're pro ready. They're almost more ready to even not hit a rookie wall than normal. But it feels like the tight end position's different. The game is so different. It doesn't translate as much, and they're asked to do a whole lot more, and the production's 10 times more, and none of it makes sense to just all of a sudden, you're going to go be an 810 tight end? It's hard to do that.
Well,
so
yeah, and it's blocking in the NFL is so much different too. I mean, you're talking, big boys coming out in the NFL compared to. I know they're big in college, but it's a different level. And then learning to block teams. And I think a lot of it, too, has to do with where they landing spot. Because you can get a coach that wants a tight end to do a certain thing. He could be a great pass catcher, but if he's not blocking right, they're not going to play him. Or vice versa, The landing spot can really matter, too.
It really just comes down to you need the perfect combination, the perfect storm of talent, which Tyler Warren has. And Brock Bowers had, and Kyle Pitts had. Like, you need to be generational type at the position, and all three were. And Kyle Pitts was. He absolutely was. And Kyle Pitts had one of the best rookie seasons in the history of the NFL. He just took a dive after that. But you have to have the perfect storm of talent, which Tyler Warren does, and situation. Because Tyler Warren, Kincaid, Michael Mayer, TJ Hawkinson, who had a horrible, well, he's injured, but horrible rookie year except for week 1. It happens way too often. Musgrave had the best metrics of any tight end. Let's use Ziggy here. Ziggy, how tall and how much does Luke Musgrave weigh?
From OregonLive.com. Musgrave is 6'6", 250 pounds, and runs like a deer.
Whoa, he's trying to get a little bit Krueger-like. Yeah, Zigmeister, getting a little spicy. You're not getting coffee today, are you, pal? He says 250. He runs like a deer. 250 and 6'6". That is a specimen. He specimened out higher than any of the tight ends in his draft class. Kincaid, Michael Mayer. He was the guy. Runs like a deer. You heard the Zigmeister. Coming in hot. That's the best he can do, though. He was trying really hard. So I'll probably say, it's just, you got to be careful with tight ends. Like Loveland, everyone's getting excited about. Look, if one's going to do it, if that, in my book. I'm not scared to go after a big, bold call with the tight end position, but I'm going to continue to beat the drum that this position is still different at the college level transferring over. It's not the same as wide receiver, quarterback, running back. Running back's been a transferable position from college to the pros immediately since, some of you were in diapers or not even born yet. And whereas the quarterback position's been a relatively new transformation where a rookie quarterback can come in and do what JD5 did. A rookie quarterback can come in even at the Burrow level and look like, okay, there's a lot that needs to change, but he looked good. Herbert looked really good. So the quarterback position's different. The wide receivers back in the Larry Fitzgerald days, they got you 700 yards, maybe 800 if they were elite, and 4 touchdowns. You weren't getting 1,000 yards. You're barely getting 800 yards from a rookie receiver. That position has transformed now, and really Jamar Chase, and right before Jamar Chase is when that was becoming possible. Now a wide receiver can BTJ it, Jamar Chase it, but tight end is not yet evolved there. And I don't think that Brock Bowers paved a way, and he's one of the he's in the front of the line of a long line of guys about to do what Chase did for the wide receiver position. I think it's going to be case by case, and Tyler Warren has the potential in the right spot. So, Loveland, we'll see. I like him, but
even non-rookies, like the year, the position's so volatile. Like at the beginning of last year, we looked at the tight end list and went, man, it's really deep, and it didn't end up being that great.
Tonight, if I come back and there's no breaking news, let's have Krueger draft the team tonight.
Ooh.
We'll give him like a list of 5 or 6 options, and we'll let him draft the team the whole way through.
Yep. That'd be fun.
And then if he wins, I'll take all the money. All right, Travis, we'll see you later.
Yeah, later. Bye.
All right, later. Drafting with Krueger. Pretty good. He'd be down. What do we got on X? Is there any updates yet? Let me scroll through here. If not, we'll get Krueger on here to say bye. And looks like we've got more Taylor Heineke. Cooper Kupp. What is this right here? From Warren Sapp said, this is not good. Cooper Kupp's rank and ability to get open. He's just reciting what I showed you guys earlier. But again, I don't know how much I believe that, because let's go to Cooper Kupp's game log real quickly. Cooper Kupp ESPN stats. Let's pull that up and I'll screenshot Cooper Kupp's 2021 season, was it? 2021 season? Yeah, 2021. So during Cooper Kupp's 2021 season, I'm just trying to give you guys a real dose of be careful with what stats people cook up and how they're created. Like ability to get open. I'm not saying Cooper Kupp didn't struggle last year, okay? But what's being referenced here is this stat right here. Let me see if I can find where this Cooper Kupp. Where is that damn thing? I think it's right here. Cooper Kupp stats that are quite alarming. I agree. I think this is it. So this is what Warren Sapp just tweeted, in reference to this. Yikes, Cooper Kupp's rank in ability to get open. In 2021, he was number 15 of 160 wide receivers. Number 15. Yet he had the best receiver season in 2021 that's ever been had. He had 145 receptions, 191 targets, 1947 receiving yards, 16 touchdowns, triple crown season in 2021. Yet he was number 15 in ability to get open. You tell me how these numbers from ESPN, it says via ESPN's player tracker data, you tell me how this makes sense. How can I trust data that told me that the best receiver season, triple crown, 1947, almost a 2,000-yard season, 145 receptions, 16 touchdowns, is ranked number 15 according to the data we're supposed to trust? Give me a break. That sounds like bad data to me. I don't know that I can trust that data. So Warren Sapp can say that, but so can that report. ESPN can have it up as a potential red flag. And I'm not saying he is going to be amazing like BBQ is, dropping 50 gifted memberships, but that's a wild stat to me. Whoever's cooking up those stats, they're tweaking them just in the right way to tell a certain narrative or story, in my opinion. That's weird. Number 14. Hey, Krueger, I was thinking about doing a live best ball draft on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. One of the sponsors on the channel is Underdog. Promo code Smitty gets people a certain percentage of matching their first deposit and a bonus pick in their account. And I was thinking about having you draft the team tonight. How are you down for that?
Rolling for this, Smitty. Let's dominate this Underdog best ball draft with promo code Smitty. Getting people that deposit match and bonus pick. You want me to go full strategy mode or mix in some wildcard picks? Just say the word and I'll draft this squad to the moon.
I think you should probably use, show guys, players we love here, but use a mix of your gut instinct on which player to go with at the end of the day. So maybe we'll call out 4 or 5 options every time you're on the clock and it's your pick. Keep in mind tonight, and I'll review this with you later, but you're going to want to draft probably 2 to 3 quarterbacks, preferably 3. 5 to 6 running backs, probably no more, but at least 5. 7 wide receivers at least, not much more over that. You got to balance the draft. It's 20, you get 20 picks, and probably 3 tight ends, and you want to space them out in a sense. You don't want to draft like 2 quarterbacks in a row necessarily because you only start 1. So the starting requirements are 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex player that can be running back or wide receiver, 1 tight end. So you got to make sure you draft in an appropriate fashion to fill up those lineup spots and then get your bench in depth. You think he's not going to get this, but he will. Like that. That was a lot of information to take in. So be calculating. Come on, Krug. You can do it. You can do it.
Locked in. I'll make sure we keep it balanced, structured, and strategic with a mix of our guys and some gut feel picks when it counts. When you're on the clock, I'll throw out 4 to 5 solid options and I'll pick in the best one. We're taking this thing down, Smitty.
All right. Krueger, we'll see you tonight. Everybody out there, I'll see you tonight. Guys, say bye to Krueger. Krueger the Krueger. Krueger, say bye to the people. And we'll see them tonight. We'll be back doing it live. Get lammed, get lamboozled, go to the moon. Say goodbye to the people, Krueger. We've got about 936 total people in the building. Got about 225 to 250 on YouTube, and on X we have, I don't know, the difference between that is what, 700 and something people on X, which I want all the people on X, aka Twitter, to get over to the YouTube channel, because we don't always go live here on X, and you're missing the full experience. Right, Krueger?
That's right, Smitty. Buddy on X, what are you doing? Get over to the YouTube channel. That's where the full experience is. The madness, the strategy, the boozling, the bam chopping, the getting paid. You don't want to be watching from the sidelines when we're out here drafting a squad to the moon. To the 936 legends in the building, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and use promo code Smitty on Underdog. We're doing it live tonight. It's going to be absolute fire. See you all soon. Do that.
Oh man, he's unbelievable, is what he is. He really is. Okay, guys, I'll see you all tonight. Appreciate you all joining me. Again, all you on X, get over to the YouTube channel, please, and subscribe. We need you on the YouTube side of this. You know, we need you on the YouTube side. See you all tonight.
Hey Smitty, it's Angry Bruce from North Carolina. Just got one question. Pearsall and McMillan, what do you think about them in best ball this year? Thanks.
That's a voicemail from our boy, I believe. Who is that? Who is that on the phone there? Who left that message? That was
Hey Smitty, it's Angry Bruce from North Carolina.
Angry Bruce. Okay, so Pearsall, McMillan. With Godwin back in Tampa, it's hard to love McMillan as much as we did, but I do believe Evans is, getting up there in age. Kind of feel like, he can miss some time this year, and it wouldn't surprise me if Godwin did too, and McMillan starts 3-4 games by himself, and did kind of what he did last year, shines really brightly. I like McMillan more than I like Pearsall. Pearsall to me is in a bad spot, bro. He's just not in a good spot. And you got Ayuk coming back to try and fend for that number 2 spot. Jennings has got the 1. Kittle's going to get more targets and looks anyway. CMC, if he is healthy, he's going to consume a lot. If he's not healthy, the offense is going to struggle. This is a total rebuild. Brock could get rocked all season long. I think Pearsall's overvalued, overdrafted player. McMillan looks like the proven commodity, even though his situation's a little crowded. You got Baker slinging the rock and providing a much more, I think, potent situation than Brock Purdy's going to provide in San Francisco in this rebuild of a mess that San Francisco's got going on. So that would be my answer. Appreciate you dropping that message. See you all tonight.